Hi guys, I had a few requests from you to get a few tips on how to run events and so on. So rather than just send out a load of stuff, what we thought would be a good idea is if we just did a video, just show you, talk you through the kind of the structure and everything you need to know about events. We're just filming on the iPhone, there's nothing polished about it. If we make mistakes, we're just going to plough on, we're going to do it in one take. Part of the reason for that is that we just need you to know that, you know, if you come across as too professional, people think they can't do the same. So don't worry if you fluff your lines or do things like that, because what that means is people sit there at an event and go, do you know what, if they can do it, I can do it. Alright? So we're just going to go through it. Emma's going to take you through the first part, and then I'll take you through the business and how to wrap up the event. Okay, so if I get the phone up, Emma.
Put my phone down there. Hi guys, okay, so first thing I want to say is that I built my business up from scratch with one or two distributors from the very beginning by putting on events. I put an in-home event on in my first couple of weeks in the business. I went up to Newcastle and built a business up there, putting events on, and I followed this structure, so it does work and it's tried and tested, and I learned it from John Halliwutty. And look at the size of his business. So you do it and you do it again and you do it again, and don't try and change it, it works as it is. Okay, so what's a good event look like? It can be a one-to-one, it can be an in-home event as I said, or you can be a bigger meeting. What I would recommend is you start with some in-home events until you get comfortable, get your upline to help you, and then move on to getting some bigger events there. Needs to be no more than an hour long, guys. It's got to be something that people can fit into their lives. 15 to 20 minutes on the product, 40 minutes on the business, and then testimonials. Okay, so no longer than an hour. Everyone's busy. Okay, what about a venue? Some really key things to help it run smoothly. It needs to be a big enough room. So go and scope out the venue that you're looking at. Don't just turn up blind. Go and have a look and see what the venue looks like. Make sure there's parking. You've got to have plenty of parking for people to be able to get there easily in and out of. Easy to find. Make sure that the postcode matches where you're going. Alright, nothing more frustrating than getting to where you think a venue is and it's not there at all. Make it fun, guys. It's not a seminar, it's not a lecture, it's not a talk about fruit and veg, okay? It's a business opportunity, it's a product presentation, it's an opportunity event. Make it something that you would want to go to. So would you want to go and see your friends in a bar for a couple of hours? Or go to a library and find out about fruit and veg? I'd rather go to the first one, so make it fun. Do a poster. Make your poster fun too, make it bright. Make sure it's got the product on it. So yes, it's a business opportunity event, but we're also talking about the product. You're in Team Rhino, you've got to have that Rhino logo on there so people know what kind of an event they're going to. Make sure you've got the date, the time, when does it start and when is it likely to finish. What's the location? So make sure the address is on there with the postcode. And the speakers, who's speaking at the event? People like to know who it is they're going to go along and see. Okay? Next bit, setup. Alright, so what do you need to have set up before everybody gets there? Flip chart and pen. Get your own, you can get them from Staples, next to nothing, part of an investment. If not, make sure that the venue has one, okay? Don't get there with nothing to write on. Make sure you've got music, some sort of music, a little speaker coming from your iPhone, anything, but some music to make it nice and relaxed when people get there. Make sure you've got a product display. Okay, we're talking about Juice Plus, people need to know it's a Juice Plus event, so you need shakes, you need capsules, and you need the bars, and they need to be on a display next to flip charts where people can see it. Set your chairs up theatre style, which basically means in rows, okay? So it's nice and simple and encourage people to sit at the front. Really key, guys, don't have too many. You can always add more chairs in. It's far better for an event to look busy and you need to get more chairs than half empty. There's too many chairs with nobody sitting in them. Have a friendly greeting. Remember how you felt when you went to your first event. People don't know necessarily what to expect and can be quite nervous, so you know, be welcoming, have people there saying hiya, welcome, come and sit down. Really informal, really relaxed. So overall the setup needs to create a really relaxed ambience, so the music and the relaxed feel from you will create that. Okay, oops, hold on. So at the start of the event, what you want to be doing is welcoming everybody, making sure you're saying to everyone, thanks very much for coming. There's no product to buy, no forms to fill in, it's just a really informal hour, so you want everybody to relax. Really important to say that at the beginning so that people know, you know, they're not being sold to. It's just about finding out about an opportunity. A great way to start when you're talking about the product is to say, stand up if you're in the room and you're on the product and it has a positive impact on you. Everybody who's in the room who's already on Juice Plus will stand up at that point because it has a positive impact on everybody who takes it, in my experience. What that does is very visually show to people, you know, the impact that it has on everybody without you having to just be the person talking. So 10 to 15 minutes maximum on the product. It's not complicated, guys, don't overcomplicate it. You don't need to talk about the science in massive detail, you just need to say that there is scientific research. The best thing in my advice to do is to talk about your own story. So tell people your product story, why you got on the product and the benefits that you felt. Don't try and be an expert. As Mike said earlier, this business is about anybody can do it. If I can do it, you can do it, and all of that. That is, you don't need to be an expert on the product, you don't need to be a doctor or a scientist. And if you have people that are interested in the science, know the website, refer people to where the website is, juiceplusfacts.com. There's loads and loads of the Juice Plus website itself. The information is out there for people to get. As I said, you'll have a product display there, so you need to talk through what are the capsules, what's in them, talk about the shakes and what's in them and how they can be used, and talk about the chewables and the child health study. Quite often that's missed out, and I think it's really key, the child health study, so make sure you're including all of that. And then at the very end there, a couple of testimonials. So from the people who stood up here at the beginning, get 2 or 3 of those people to do no more than 60 seconds, and you need to be saying that, no more than 60 seconds, on a product testimonial. So can you please share your experience of the product with the people in the room? Those things together should take no more than 15 minutes, but what it will do is give you a structure of people to understand what the product is and how it can be used. Okay, what I'm going to do now is I'm going to hand over to Mike to talk you through the business presentation and what that should look like. Okay, thanks.
Okay guys, so we go to the business presentation. The first thing that we do is, I would say, hands up if it's your first event. Now the good thing about that is that gives you an understanding of who the audience are. So if you don't know the whole audience, because it's a reasonably sized event, what you might want to do is just ask them who's the first event. So you know kind of how to pitch it and how much detail to go in and so on, and how many people have been brought there with an interest to the business opportunity. The next thing you would do is just get the elephant out of the room about the pyramid scheme. Some people have heard, you know, funny things about network marketing and believe it's a pyramid scheme. I did, so don't be embarrassed if you did as well. Just say, hands up who thinks it's a pyramid scheme or previously thought it was a pyramid scheme. I know I did, and I know that kind of breaks down a few barriers when I do the business presentation, because I was in that boat originally anyway. Then you explain why it's not pyramid selling. So talk through what pyramid selling is. Firstly, pyramid selling is illegal, and it has been since like the 70s or 80s. And Juice Plus has been around as a product for 21 years. So pretty sure in that 21 years we would have been found out if it was pyramid selling. But also explain what pyramid selling is. Basically, I use an analogy, usually pens, because I've usually got one in my hand, and just say, look, you know, pyramid selling is if I get a huge amount of stock of pens and I sell them to this guy over here for £10, I make my profit and I run away with it and I'm happy. The next person sells them on for £15, they make their profit, they're happy. And it keeps going on like that until somebody's stuck with a garage full of pens they can't sell, and at no point through that process does the end user actually see the product. Okay, completely different to what Juice Plus is, and it's just really got to explain that right off the bat at the start, because you'll get some people that are sat in the audience still kind of questioning whether it is pyramid selling. It's absolutely not. It's network marketing or direct selling, and there is, you know, it's all regulated and so on. So it's all perfectly above board. So one of the first things we go through is the 4 elements to the business. Sorry, we've done this in the garden just because it would be nicer than being inside, but it's a bit windy. So there are 4 elements mainly. First one is retail. So this is, people think it's selling. But the great thing is that, I mean, I spent my entire corporate career avoiding sales because I just didn't feel comfortable with it. But this isn't selling. So the beautiful thing about this, the only retail part and the only retail aspect in this business is just processing an order. You find somebody who wants the product, you process the order on their behalf, and everything else is done. Okay? Got on that, mail order is the next element that we talk people through. Basically, Juice Plus do all the hard work. So you're not stuck with a load of stock being delivered to your house and you've got to divvy it up and send it on and things like that. So Juice Plus deal with all the stock, they deal with the payments, they deal with the deliveries, they deal with returns, all of that complication and all of the stuff that could take your time is taken away from you by Juice Plus. So what you're then able to do is build your business and build your customer base. In terms of networking is the next element. That's really about tell, don't sell. And that's the thing that I really love about this business, is there is no selling, there's no pressure, and there's no you must go and sell this to that person. Speak to people about it. If they're not interested, move on to the next person. Because it really is just about telling your story about your experience of the product and finding people who are interested in that. Think of it like we're basically paid to recommend a product. So just like you would recommend a restaurant to a friend or a holiday location to a friend, it's the equivalent of that restaurant giving you some money if your friend then went on to use that restaurant, and every single time they went to that restaurant, the restaurant is giving you money. It's effectively that's all it is. And then the final piece is teach to teach. This business is simple. It's not easy, but it's simple. And all of this stuff that we're talking about here is just a formula to be able to get over to people how simple that is. So you're teaching to teach. So you teach your guys how to do this business in this simple, straightforward way. They then teach their guys, and so on and so on and so on. So if you end up with a team of 6,000 distributors like Emma has, Emma doesn't deal with and doesn't train all 6,000 of those distributors. She'll train her front line, who will then train theirs and so on. So when I say train, there's no formal training needed. It's very, very straightforward, and you can get up and running on this straight away. As long as you've been on the product and you know the product's benefits and you can talk about your own experience, you're off and ready. If there's anything technical that you need answering, the support is there. You've got loads of support from around the business, you've got loads of support from your sideline, from your upline, and you've got loads of support from online as well. So I've done that bit on there, can't manage the whole thing. So the next bit we will do, near me from back there, is the next bit we would do is, and don't have all this written out, we've done this now just to save time basically, but draw this out as you go along. So the thing we would do is show the difference between a corporate hierarchy, which is where we've come from, to the Juice Plus hierarchy. So what we would do is we would draw out a triangle and explain that, use an example, so be it Tesco, the army, I don't know, the Catholic Church, anything. Everything is in business. It's in traditional business or traditional organisations is shaped like this. You get a load of people at the bottom and one person at the top. So this example is just a generic company. You've got a CEO at the top, then a board, upper managers, middle managers, etc., down to, I've put cleaner as a nominal kind of entry point into this company. Name some people down here, so you say, well, you've got Ian here, Tom here, and Pam here. Now, will Pam ever make it up to CEO? No, frankly, she won't, because if she's coming in at this level, it doesn't work like that in a standard hierarchy, because you get people coming in here, here, and here, and here, and the opportunities as you go further up the business narrow. So the number of opportunities you have narrow as it goes up there. What that does is that breeds a competitive culture, because what you get is you get people who are competing for the same job, and there's only a certain number of jobs as further you go up here. So the people that get the jobs are all really happy. The people that don't are kind of are dejected and they're demotivated, and they resent the person who did get the job. Okay, it's very much an every man for himself culture, and it's quite a negative culture, just because of that competitive nature, because the opportunities narrow as you go up. Then what we would do is we would contrast that to what we've got in Juice Plus. Now Juice Plus, a lot of people represent it with an upside down triangle, which kind of doesn't make sense to me, so I just do it as a box. Basically, if you come in as a dealer, you can be a national marketing director. If you do what you need to do from here to here, you can be, and you will be. Whereas up here, you could be the best person up here, but if your face doesn't fit or the opportunities don't come up, you don't get there. If you do what you need to get from there to there, it will happen. There's no limit on the number of people at this level in the business, and so on. So what that gets, it means there's room at the top for everyone, and it means, and the way it works in terms of you build a team, you can't get there alone. So what that means is that you can't get there on your own, so you build your team and you encourage your team, and it's only when your team perform that you perform, and it's only when your team start to perform that you'll get recognised and you'll start to move up this business. So what that means is that promotion in this business encourages people, it doesn't discourage. So promotion in this discourages everyone who didn't get promoted. If someone gets promoted up here, people get inspired to do the same that they did to get the same promotion. And then what you get is what that means is that, you know, people will help other people, because if I help somebody in somebody else's team, it doesn't mean that it doesn't harm my chances of getting promoted and so on. So it's a much more positive culture here. So again, what this does is just highlights the difference and kind of blows away some of the myths about the way we do business. The next piece that we go through is the power of numbers. Again, draw this out as you go in. Now, feel free to refer to notes, because again, if it looks too polished and too slick, people will think I can't stand up there and do that. But I always keep my notes by my side, because I'm always forgetting these numbers. But that's good, because if people think, well, you know, he looks like he's struggling, so if he can do it, I can do it. So basically, the idea of the power of numbers is that if you find two friends who want to look good, feel good, make a bit of extra money and have fun, yeah, and they bring 2 people in, you've got 4. If those people bring 2 people in, they've got 8, and so on, until you get down 5 levels, you've got 32 people, including yourself is 63, okay? Because in this business, you will get paid 5 levels down, okay? Which is an important thing to bring up at this point, so that's why we do it to 5 levels down, so you've got 63 people in that organisation. You can then talk through the threes. So instead of 2 people, you bring 3 people in, and they bring 3 people in, they bring 3 people in, and then you can just illustrate the difference in 364 versus 63. Then you can go to 5, and if you talk 5 people, they bring 5 people each, they bring 5 people each, and so on and so on and so on. You get to 3,906, okay? The difference from 63 to 3,906 is 3,800 odd. The difference between 2 and 5 is 3. So the only difference is you've brought 3 extra people in, okay? One important thing to note here is just be realistic and say, it's not just bringing, you know, to get 5 good people, you may need to bring 10, 15, 20 people in, okay? And not every single person is gonna bring in this many people exactly. It doesn't work like that. This is a simplistic version of it. It just shows, it's indicative of how the difference that bringing in a few extra people at this level can have at this level. Now, whilst this isn't realistic in terms of exactly 5 each time, that number there is less than Emma's got in her business. So it's realistic in that respect. Okay? The next bit we will do is take them through the bonus plan. To be perfectly honest, this is what, if people have come to learn about the business, this is the bit that they're interested in. Again, I would write this from bottom to top, and I would write it as I go to keep people's attention. Now, while we're going through this, get a testimonial, again, just 1 minute, but get a testimonial at each level. So you start off here and say, right, the first bonus in Juice Plus is when you get to SDD, Senior Direct Distributor. So when you get to SDD, you get a £300 bonus, okay? Are there any SDDs in the room? Tell us your story of how you got to SDD. Simple as that. Then SC, £900. SSC, 800, and at each level, just ask somebody in the room just to give them 1 minute testimonial. So what you're doing, at the same time as telling people the amount they can get in bonuses, you're also getting real people telling real stories as well, so it's a really powerful way of doing it. Once you get to NMD, you get a £7,200 bonus, and at that point you can start to mention that you get expenses. So at this level, which was previously the pinnacle position of the business, you start to get expenses of up to £1,600 a month as well. So that really starts to get people's attention as well. And also the key thing at this is you don't have to submit receipts or anything like that, you just get this money, okay? Really important point. And also what you can mention at NMD is the average NMD earnings is £80,000 a year. Now some people will earn more than that, some people will earn less than that, but the average earnings is £80,000 a year. So you can really start to see, once you get up to here, that you can really start to make some different choices in your life there. 3 more positions were brought in just in the last 18 months or so. IMD, EMD, PMD. So again, keep writing these, you know, IMD and the number, any IMDs in the room, and so on, okay? Till you get to PMD, and all in all, there's £80,000 worth of bonuses. Okay? So once you've done that bit, the people's heads are spinning from these massive numbers. What I like to do is I like to kind of summarise the opportunity. You can do it in a number of different ways, like say, imagine this was in a job centre or so on. But if you summarise the opportunity, that you can work when you want, you can work where you want, you can literally do this from anywhere in the world as long as you've got an internet connection. You can holiday when you want, so If Marjorie's taken her holiday before you, doesn't matter, because you can go on holiday at the same time as well. It's an international business, so it means you can literally run it from anywhere. And if you know people in Australia, Canada, America, all these other countries that we distribute to, you can have customers and distributors in those countries as well. £80,000 in bonuses is available. There's no overheads. It's a residual income as well. So once you've built your massive business, you build a huge business, and you look after your customers, you look after your distributors, and that will keep paying you and paying you and paying you and paying you, whether you get out of bed in the morning or not. Okay? And all of that is for a £50 startup fee. One thing I like to do is kind of do the analogy of, if that was in a job centre, you'd have a queue right the way around the door. So the final thing is, just to wrap up, what you would do is, there's a number of different ways. What I like to do is, let's say, so where else are you going to get an opportunity like this? Okay, there's a huge amount of opportunity here in terms of building a massive successful franchise business for 50 quid. So it's just, there's nothing else out there that gives this opportunity. Anything from a few extra quid a month to life-changing sort of amounts of money. And then one thing I like to finish with is, there are two things you can do from here. You can let this opportunity go by, you can go back to your old life, and that's grow your current life, and that's great. If you're enjoying yourself and you're happy, then do it. If there's anything in your life that this extra few quid or these massive amounts of money could change to your life, get involved and speak to the person that brought you here. Now this is a very, very important thing to say, okay? Because the Juice Plus business is built upon relationships and built upon the fact that we do things right. So I can send somebody to an event in Inverness and knowing that nobody's going to poach that person and take them on and sign them up while I'm not there. That's why this is a really important thing to say. So there's no forms to fill. All you got to do is, whoever sent you here, whoever brought you here, or whoever invited you, go back and speak to them if you want more detail and so on. And that is it. It's as simple as that. That's how you run an event.